My name is Shawn Lyons. Before my stroke, I was the executive director of the South Dakota Retailers Association. I held the position of executive director for about 15 years. So actually, before my stroke and working with the disability sector, it goes back to my childhood actually. My mother had polio and she walked with 2 crutches, and so I had to learn to make several different accommodations and be her right-hand person. The experience that I felt with my stroke, I was out of state at the time attending a business conference in Portland, Oregon. So I had no warning that this stroke was coming on. It just happened. So fortunately, I had good friends that called an ambulance and were able to get me to a hospital room. And then I spent over a year in therapy. But initially, I woke up in that same hospital with tubes coming out of my head. So I had to basically relearn to do everything all over again. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk. I still can't talk very well, but I do very well.
I am Stephanie and I am Shawn's wife. We've been married just over 30 years. When I first heard about his stroke, maybe it was more just led to believe, or in my thought, thinking it wasn't as bad as it was. I had a lot of people I could talk to back here that kind of helped at the end of every day, me just kind of process what the day had been like. But just watching him was more motivational for me because I could see his spirit of not giving up.
Well, again, looking at challenges that people experience in the workplace, I go back to my mother. I mean, it took her a long time to work with employers about her disability and what she could do. She was very determined, which I've learned subsequently in my upbringing and my outlook. So people that have a disability, they just want a fair chance to prove that they can do the job just like an able-bodied person can do, or the perception of an able-bodied person. Well, first of all, what I'd say about vocational rehabilitation is you're just not a number to them. So I've worked with different people within vocational rehabilitation throughout my journey. So I did what was called a return to work program through the State Department of Labor, and working with them and vocational rehabilitation, making sure that what I was doing was a good fit. And if it wasn't a good fit, what I was going to do moving forward. They worked with me on things that I didn't even know to do. I mean, there's so many different state and federal programs. So vocational rehabilitation helped me through that process. And they provided assistive technology to help me. And then they would check in with me on a regular basis and making sure that my needs were being met. So I'm most thankful for them.
My name's Nick Michaels. I've been general counsel for the Department of Game Fish and Parks for about a year now, and during that time I've managed Shawn as my paralegal. 2 qualities in particular that stand out. One is perseverance. Shawn is not someone who's going to quit. Perseverance is probably the only virtue that anybody can perfect, because all it requires is not giving up, and Shawn does not give up. The other quality would be his, I guess I would call it the antithesis of despair, so probably a hope. You know, it's easy for people to say brave things. It's easy for people to put on the brave face. But you know, regardless of what someone's overcoming, it's still a struggle. And Shawn has that positive attitude. You can tell he's someone who's rooted in hope.
So prior to my stroke, I like to hunt, I like to golf, I like to hike. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I spent a lot of time at the golf course on the driving range, which probably prior to my stroke, I probably should have spent some more time at that driving range. But working on my swing and making sure that I could compete. You certainly don't want to step up to the tee box with a group full of other individuals that are, quote, able-bodied and invest yourself in your swing. So I was able to swing, and that takes a lot of mental preparation. You have to think about how you swing, your balance, your follow through, all the things that you probably took for granted before. Now I'm probably, in that sense of a lot of things that I'm doing, a lot more methodical about that golf experience. So when I woke up in that hospital room, I knew my life was not going to be the same as it once was. I probably wouldn't be working in the same type of career field that I enjoyed for several years. You basically have to climb the mountain all over again. And a lot of people that have gone through a similar type of episode that I've endured have to do the same thing. They have to reshuffle the deck. It's kind of like the old adage of, I know I'm in a hole, don't throw me a rope, I need a shovel to dig my way out of there.